Welcome to the streets of St. Petersburg in sunny Florida. It's rounds 3 and 4 of the Idemitsu Mazda MX-5 Cup presented by BFGoodrich. I'm John Hindhaugh. Joining me in the booth is Shea Adam. Before we get to the action this weekend, let's have a look back at rounds 1 and 2 from Daytona in January. Let's get ready to race for Idemitsu Mazda MX-5 Cup, live from Daytona International Speedway. Unbelievable scrap in the midfield, and everyone has survived the first couple of corners. Sam Penny, here's Gonzalez. It's going to be a dead heat. Gonzalez goes to the line. It was Gonzalez. Zilic comes through to second. Green flag is in the air and we're racing. 3 wide through turn 3. Are you mad, guys? Come on. Thomas round the outside. It's between these two. Last year's champion takes the victory by 0.078 of a second. Celine Roland just missed out on the podium at Daytona, but got to this race, as he usually does, in style, flying himself in. He's a licensed pilot. Before we get to green, let's not forget last year's wild start. Very, very close indeed down to the first corner. Sam Pearley pulls out in the blue car, tries to go all the way around the outside. He's got the second position in a roll. A roll at the start of the race. It is Hyman. He was right down the inside on the inside curb and hit it with his right wheels. Thankfully, Woody Hyman was able to walk away. Now, let's turn our attention to the start of today's race. The championship standings at the moment show a 100-point gap back from Tyler Gonzalez to Jared Thomas. He's the defending champion. We've never had a 2-time champion here, never mind anyone who has defended. Its early part of the season. There's 45 minutes on the clock, and round 3 of the 2023 Idemitsu Mazda MX-5 Cup presented by BFGoodrich Tires is on the runway, and it's a bit of a staggered start with the top 5 or 6 rows absolutely together, everyone else way back down, not even onto the runway. Down the inside then, the pole sitter manages to hold on. There's a bit of bumping and boring going through. Noega has got a bit of a run through. That looked like Gresham Wagner trying to make up some room right over the side of the curbs on the inside of turn 1 into turn 3. Turn 3's been an issue for everybody, including the open wheel cars here this weekend. So still the pole man leading as they turn right. Wow, how did they do that? They turn right onto 2nd Avenue, now onto Beach Street, Central Avenue, and then turning right again onto Bayshore, and pretty much everybody here has survived the first half lap of this 1.8-mile circuit.
Yeah, but a phenomenal start from Thomas Nunziata up to 2nd as he took advantage of Connor Zilic getting strung out by Gresham Wagner, making the move up to 3rd. Celine Roland, local hometown hero, favorite pilot who frequently lands on the runway, on which they will race to the checkered flag. He is now up into 4th position as Bruno Smokowski does not even see the green flag. The hero from Daytona and 2nd in the rookie standings, now parked on the side of the track, did not take the green flag, John.
Yeah. Smokowski, then Smolewski for Hickson Motorsports. Bruno in that.
Full course caution.
Well, had to be, didn't it? I think he did actually get across the line. I've got him scored in 13 as he went across the line. That was not lucky for him. So we neutralised the race, and the MX-5 RF safety car will head the pack round, already pulled out of the pit lane. Let's see if we can pick apart how Bruno got there.
He's on driver's right, coming down the start straight, and makes a brilliant dive down the inside. I'm guessing it just didn't stick.
Gets up onto the curb. Now, did he just spin it up, or was he helped? Got a little bit of help from behind. I think that was
Thomas.
Well, I thought it was Max Opalski, actually. Let's see if we can pick that out. Jared Thomas was in front of him, and I think it was Opalski behind.
Yep.
As we go back to green, Noega weaving left and right, plenty
Breaking
of...
the draft.
He's trying to break the draft round the outside on the paint. That's a hard thing to do. And Gresham Wagner, Cicero, excuse me, in second.
No, Gresham.
No, it is Gresham Wagner, excuse me. Little glitch on the timing screens there as they went through. So it was Gresham Wagner, and there's been a conflagration at turn 1. That was one of the black cars towards the back. I think Celine, who was involved there at the back of the field.
Celine Roland is still going.
He's still
so
going.
To his friends and family watching around the circuit, don't worry, he's still fighting for a top 5 position, but that was a big mess toward the back of the field. I think Jared Thomas and Matthew Dirks were involved though, John.
I was about to say, I think one of those cars was, well, there's Matthew Dirks in the Air Force car, the 76 drab green car, and Thomas, the 96, is missing as well. Keep an eye for that at turn 1. Has he got going again? Bold move down the inside by the number 72 driver. That is Connor Zilic, 5th position, and having a look at 4th there on Celine Roland as he was trying to move forwards. 4th position up for grabs there. Still our leader is the former champion, Gresham Wagner, down onto the front straight. New 2nd place driver as well. That's Thomas Annunziata in 2nd place.
Rookie.
He is the best of the rookies, and he's really living up to his build-up that we got from everyone who's seen him in the other Mazda classes down through the years, through the oil dry at turn 1 and kicking up a bit of dust there as they go through. So Wagner, Annunziata, Zilic, Neueger, the pole sitter now down to 4th, then Celine Roland, Sam Paling in 6th position, John Chatoine, Tyler Gonzalez, championship leader this year, up from a 10th position start to 8th. Aaron Johnson in 9th, and in 10th position it is Nate Cicero, another one of the rookies. And it was just a coming together between Matthew Dirks and Jared Thomas. A super piece of avoidance by Heather Hadley back there in the 54, and a couple of other drivers as well. I think Jonathan Neudorf as well had to go around and pick which side he was going through. Down the inside of turn 10, and despite, well, I think probably because of the fact that his right-hand mirror has leaned in, the lead goes to the number 72 of Connor Zilic, and he didn't hit the wall again.
I don't know, I'm going to need a closer examination of that car after this race is done, John, just to make sure there's no white dust on the right-hand side of the car after that one. What a close moment for Connor Zilic with the wall, but a very decisive move. He pulled out early to let Gresham Wagner know, hey, I'm coming down your left-hand side, buddy. You can hit me, or you can let me go through. Gresham Wagner, knowing that Valor is the best decision at this point, left the door open.
Yeah, and he might have white-walled that right rear BFGoodrich tyre as he went through. If the mirror hadn't been broken and folded back before, it would have been after that, thanks to Scratch on tape today. We are down to literally here the money laps in round number 3 of the IMSA Idemitsu Mazda MX-5 Cup for 2023, presented by BFGoodrich Tires, and it's all happening at the front. Huge slide by Zilic as he went through turn 1, and he's broken away. In Mazda terms, he's broken away. He's got maybe a car and a half, maybe 2 cars, but here comes Wagner in the middle part of the lap. Can he hold on to that car ahead of him? Connor Zilic then for Hickson Motorsport ahead of Spark Performance. Sam Paley still 5 seconds, better part on a 6 seconds behind. Huge slide by Wagner. I think he's taken the performance out of the back tyres. His BFGoodrich racing slicks are complaining shit every time he calls for power from the accelerator, what the Formula 1 guys this weekend will be calling torque acquisition, torque request. We call it a throttle pedal in this type of racing.
Yeah, but John, he's still pushing really hard. The last lap around was his personal best. We'll have to see what time it was. And my explanation a couple months ago, Aaron Johnson has stolen the 10 bonus points from Connor Zilic. Fastest lap of the race right now, going the way of the 24. 3.5 minutes to go. Not even 2 minutes and 45 seconds left in this contest. And John Somm all of a sudden with the purple next to his name.
Yes, and that is the BFGoodrich fastest lap, 1:24.5, still a little way away from Justin Piscatel's race lap record, 1:24.3. Still the leaders moving on. So much excitement that even our digital clock on the top left of the screen has had enough. It's frozen at 3:21. We're going to be racing all day, and who's going to argue with that?
More.
Yes, it's down to 2 minutes and 8 seconds. We just give it a little nudge there, and that is the excitement. Time stands still. There's so much going on here in Mazda MX-5. Sam Paley now then, with now behind him Aaron Johnson. He's been looking in his mirrors to see the black fronted car of Thomas Annunziata, the Nerd Focus black, green and red car. Whereas now he's looking at the number 20. It's been a good drive by Aaron Johnson through the field, Shea, and he's paced himself very nicely with the leaders 6 seconds up the road. I'm not sure he was ever going to challenge the first two who are together through turn 10. Oh my goodness me!
Wow.
Wagner at the very last moment with 2 to go comes through and takes the lead. Gresham Wagner exactly where, yes, goes purple in that sector, exactly where he lost the lead a few laps ago to the number 72 of Connor Zilic. He has taken it back. The white flag is being waved by Tony on the starter stand, and we have a new leader, and it's Gresham Wagner for Spark Performance back to the front. And does he nick back the best lap time? He does. 1:24.466. He takes the BFGoodrich fastest lap of the race. He was right under the rear bumper of the leader. Came out at the last minute. It was decent defence, I have to say, by Connor Zilic. Very, very fair defence as well, Shea Adam. They both could have ended up in a pile of parts there. Respectful but hard racing. This is exactly what we expect. And we're now just about a mile away from the checkered flag with Gresham Wagner leading it.
Yeah, but how long is he going to be leading it? John Connor Zilic tucked right up underneath his bumper. He's now seen that Gresham's left him very little warning to pull out for that move.
Defended by the leader. Wagner defends
brilliantly
into the middle of the circuit, but that's going to slow him down on the exit. There's an overlap for a moment, and it looked like the second place car was going through. Connor Zilic and Gresham Wagner, what brilliant entertainment. Just 2 cars at the head of the field here. We're so used to seeing it being close. Just coming through on the far corner, it's the bump and run from the Hickson driver. Right in the middle of 13 and 14 in the sprint to the line. Watch Wagner come out to the right-hand side. He might still get the draft. He's side by side. There was a little bit of side drafting going on there. And across the line, Wagner's taking it back. Wagner has taken it back by point. Oh, and there's a bit of argy-bargy. Hello, Days of Thunder all over again here.
Oh, no.
Oh,
guys,
now
we still have another race this afternoon. Please do not damage your cars, but a scant 0.021 of a second across the line. We are still below a 10th on our season total for the gap across the checkered flag.
A nail-biting photo finish, just 0.021 of a second, separating Gresham Wagner's number 5 Mazda and the number 72 of Connor Zilic at the end of race 1. Let's see what Gresham Wagner has to say about his win.
I was getting tired of second and thirds, honestly. It's nice to get back and get a win and show that, I can be the best, not the second best or the third best. So, I knew I'd have to defend from him, and, he gave me the bumper a bit, a little bit of payback, a little bit trying to go for the win. All fair and hard racing, so just happy to come home with the win again.
After the weekend at St. Petersburg, Connor Zilic leads the championship on 1,200 points. Aaron Johnson sits 60 behind. Then it's Celine Roland and Gresham Wagner, 150 and 180 points behind Zilic. Rounding out the top 5, Sam Paley. Now rounds 5 and 6 for the MX-5 Cup drivers will be on track at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca in Monterey, California. Join us for that on May the 13th and 14th.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of the International Motorsports Association. We would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.